LeBron, Hayden Grove, Cleveland.com. Everybody's been saying that in the locker room that you practice those shots, do those things, just the crazy circus shots. How important is it to practice those shots for moments such as that one?
Well, I mean, I told you this morning, told Joe this morning that the ability to have, different things in my toolbox and the repertoire that I have throughout the game, I can kind of go through those things. I think it was you or Dave. It was Dave. You asked me that question this morning. Sorry, Joe, you don't get the credit. So that's just another, instance in that game where I had an opportunity to go to something I practice or kind of mess around with and tinkering shots and things and finding angles and things of that nature. So I think that's what it just boiled down to.
Joe Varden, Cleveland.com. For weeks, for months, we ask you questions about what this team can accomplish and can you get back to finals? Can you win it? Can you beat whoever in the finals? And we've never gotten an answer, and I don't necessarily want one now. But you've won 2 out of the last 3 home games like this. You're winning in the playoffs in all these different ways. And I know you don't believe in momentum from one game to the next in the playoffs, but when you win like this a couple times, does it start to build something that maybe you didn't know or didn't think you had when the playoffs started?
I think, and I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, because it should have never came down to that point tonight. We had a really good lead to start the fourth, and we came out and just didn't execute and didn't play, the way we should have, and all the way to OG's 3. After Jeff Green's free throw, we didn't even get matched. And it was just mixed communication between Jeff Green and Kyle, where we didn't even get matched. They had no timeouts. We knew they could do nothing but push the ball if we missed a free throw, and we give OG basically a wide open shot after he pump fake. So, but at the end of the day, you have to do whatever it takes to win, and we found a way to get another win. So it doesn't matter how it happens. We just got to be a little bit better. That's basically what I'm trying to say. We got to be a lot better, especially coming in the game 4.
Do you or are you starting to feel differently or better or whatever about this team than you did when the playoffs started?
I feel good because we won tonight, and we've played some good ball, through 8 games. Obviously, we weren't that good in Game 6 of the Indiana series, but for the most part, we've been playing some good ball, especially defensively too. If you take our last game, in Toronto where they shot over 50%, defensively we've been in tune. Offensively, we still can play a lot better. But I think we're just trying to get better and better each and every game.
Jason Lloyd, The Athletic, talked to you a little bit in the locker room, but when do you know the shot you're going to take or do? Because, like I told you, I thought you had a lane to the rim. So at what point do you decide, no, I'm going to do this crazy thing instead?
You make me laugh, and then they get all these pictures, and no one ever knows why I was laughing because they don't put it underneath it. They just say LeBron James laughing. They don't say why you ask. You see what I'm saying? They don't say Jason Lloyd said crazy shot that made him laugh. I don't know. I have more than enough time to get the ball from one baseline to another. That's way more time than I needed. They did a good job of putting a little pressure on us in the backcourt, putting 2 on me at first, and then I was able to get open. When do I decide which shot I'm going to take? To be honest, sometimes I really don't know, but I trust every shot that I'm going to take because I work on every shot. So if sometimes, it could be a pull-up 3, as you saw in the Indiana series. It could be a drive, for a layup that I've had in the past. It could be a floater, like it was tonight, off the glass. I practice pretty much, every shot that I take in a game, and no matter if it's the first quarter or a game winner, I feel pretty comfortable with it.
And kind of along the lines of what Joe was saying, I think you said a couple different times that just before the trade deadline, you sort of flipped your mentality on how you were approaching this team in the season. Have you had any sort of moment like that? Ty thought your demeanor changed throughout this postseason. Have you had that moment where, for whatever reason, your demeanor has changed throughout this particular postseason?
Well, I mean, you guys know my demeanor changed in the postseason, no matter what's going on.
I mean,
with the
during
team.
the postseason, not
Oh,
from,
during the
yeah,
postseason.
from the start of Game 1 in Indiana until now, it looks like something's different with you.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think, before the All-Star break, that's when I kind of just was like, listen, whatever it is it's going to be, we got to try to make the most out of the team. And this is even before we even made the trade. I talk to you guys every day, and I told you how I was feeling, and this is how it was going to be, and let's just try to make the most of the season. So I've been in a really good place since then, to be honest.
Jeff Zilgate, USA Today. Given the time and score, LeBron, what do you like about taking the ball out of bounds at that end with 8 seconds compared to having the opportunity to inbound at half court? And then the second part of it, what's the degree of difficulty on that shot, maybe compared to even the three-pointer against Indiana?
Well, T. Lue was the one who told us, let's take it full court, knowing that I had more than enough time to get the ball up the court. By us doing that, it doesn't allow a defense to kind of sit and see what you're going to do because you're going at such a fast pace. So they can't really load, they can't double team because one shot can lose you the game and you give up a wide open look. Most likely, you're not going to like the results of that. Even if it's us playing defense, you don't want to double in that case with a tie game. So the level of difficulty of that shot, it is very difficult. Don't try it at home, Jeff.
David McMenamin, ESPN. LeBron, you said that it should have never gotten to that. Obviously, there was some missed free throws, and there was OG got open. But when you get that opportunity, even if it was a result of some miscues, is there any moment of emotion, of excitement before the ball is checked in?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And does that fuel you, or how do you process that?
Listen, tie game, down one, or whatever the case may be, I live for those moments. I think I was just, I don't know, I was, like I told y'all in the Indiana series, that mental clock of being a kid and just kind of just telling myself 3, 2, 1, and making the noise of the net, that sound. I've been doing that since I was like 6, 7, 8 years old, maybe even before that. It's a picture floating around of me besides a little Tykes hoop with a saggy pamper on. And I probably was doing it back then, all the way up until now, being 33. So it's not things that you dream about, that you get those opportunities, and I've been fortunate enough to just get a handful of those in some of the biggest moments, in my career.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. LeBron, Dwayne Casey said his goal was to take the ball out of your hands. So when you're in the timeout before that play, are you anticipating the defense doing a certain thing? I know you don't premeditate what shot or move you're going to make, but do you anticipate what you think the defense is going to do?
Well, I figured they would double me before the ball even came in, and they kind of doubled me a little bit, but I was able to kind of break through from Siakam and and then race down the floor. So I think a coach would sleep a little bit better if they lost the game without me making it, just because of my history and how many opportunities I've been in that position and done it over and over. So, but Kev took the ball out. They started to double me a little bit, and I actually told G Hill to go get the ball, and then I was going to come and get it. But Kev didn't look at nobody else but me. So I had to break free, and I was fortunate enough to make a tough one.
Tom Reed, The Athletic. Does the fact that if you make the shot, obviously you win the game, but the fact that if you miss the shot, you're going to overtime, does that influence whether you take the ball out at midcourt or you try something different, or maybe a little more high percentage shot if you could get it, if that was possible?
No, I mean, actually, when you're winning a game like we were winning, I mean, we were up 7 with like 3 minutes to go. OG hits ones off the glass. Then we come back. Kyle loses the ball out of bounds. Then Kyle Lowry goes in, gets a foul on Kev. Now we're down 2, and whatever case may, I mean, we're up 2, and whatever case may be throughout the course of that, they had the momentum. So it's actually even more of a difficult shot if you miss, even though you're going to overtime, because that momentum can carry them to, they feel good about themselves. So it's better to just kind of, if you can, just get it over with.
And the second part, so I think 22 turnovers in 3 games by your team. What has allowed you guys to be so efficient and so protecting the ball so well?
We understand that we can't turn the ball over against these guys, and that's something that was pretty much killing us in the Indiana series. Indiana was turning us over, and they were getting out and flying, and we couldn't get matched up. So, we just came into this series understanding it's much better if we're able to get shots up and not allow them to get in transition. And I mean, they even with our 10 turnovers or 12 turnovers, they had 11 points off of it. So, we keep it to 10 and below, or 8 or below like we've been doing, then it's going to be a good, possible good chance for us to score offensively.
Steve Ashburn, NBA.com. Toronto dialed up the physical play today. They changed their lineup. They changed some of their defenses. What did you see and feel from them tonight, and what does that suggest for Game 4?
No, they did. You said it perfectly. They turned up their aggressiveness. They picked up full court, even though they did that in Game 1 and Game 2 as well. But they were just a little bit more, physical with their approach. They changed their lineup, and I think it worked well for them. So we don't know what they're going to change for Game 4. We just have to be ready for it. We probably have our same lineup. We're going to have some of our same coverages. But understand that we have to bring the physicality as well, which we did, and it allowed us to win this game. So, whatever the game, presents itself that the Raptors bring on, help me out. Appreciate it. We'll be ready for it. Thank you.